Hey buddies, on the way to the gym. It's another shadow gray day in LA. This weather is the pits. I don't really mind it too much because it's a nice little change, kind of reflecting East Coast weather. But come on, man, this LA. Why is it so temperamental? You guys know I was dealing with this infection. Still kind of going through it, but I'm feeling much better today. The antibiotics I was on were kicking my butt. Had me all kinds of strung out on the bed. But I've been thinking about my prior video talking about chaos. And I wanted to expand more on that. My theories on chaos, especially right when the pandemic hit, and how it kind of upended a lot of people's lives. And I feel like some of us have made the necessary steps to transition into a new normal. And that alone is an example of how chaos can impact your life. And if utilized correctly, you can turn it into something very progressive and prosperous, profitable. It can be innovative. And that's the space that I'm in right now, is being innovative, switching, transitioning from what was once considered a normal, traditional way of life to something that's a bit more unconventional. A friend of mine who I had known before moving out here, he had been in the hospitality and food and beverage industry for years. And when COVID hit, of course, his industry was the first to be impacted. And subsequently, he was stricken really bad with a chronic case of psoriasis. Now, I had never, ever known what chronic psoriasis was like and how it could impact you. You know, the psoriasis commercials are really cute. They'll show your friendly neighborhood suburban mom with a little patch of dry skin, you know, walking around trying to cover it up. But his chronic psoriasis was debilitating. It was infectious. It was ravenous on his body, and it was debilitating. He couldn't do anything. And so even though the industry has since opened up, he had to go through months and months of trying to manage his condition. And this happened right after he lost his job. So it just makes you wonder, what were the conditions of his life prior to him getting to a place where as soon as it stopped, his routine stopped, his body was, you know, in a sense telling him that all of that constant hours, and because his industry is a very high demanding industry that requires him to be constantly working crazy hours on his feet, late nights. And the fact that as soon as he had to be still, it just made me realize how many of us have committed ourselves to a toxic routine that we've just normalized, whether it's something to do with corporate America or a routine that involves your family or whatever it may have been. But when the pandemic hit, so many of us had to change and adjust and be still in a sense. And that stillness is almost a moment of reflection. And that reflection shows itself in many different ways. And for him, I think it was nudging him to be conscious of his health and to realize how important it was to take a moment to stop and realize maybe what he had been missing. Anyways, I am about to head into the gym. I just wanted to share some thoughts and catch up with you guys after my workout.